It's time for the Battle of the Brainiacs, and first up, stepping out of his brain box, it's the master of mayhem, Stewie Griffin.
I say, it appears my cranium has doubled in size.
And his opponent, from the citadel of cerebral power, it's the Grand Master of the Multiverse, Rick Sanchez.
This is like a whole planet or something!
Thanks, Morty. I'm pretty proud of this bad boy. I put a spatially tessellated void inside a modified temporal field until a planet developed intelligent life.
Today, we're diving into these geniuses' most big brain moments to find out once and for all who is the smartest character in all of fiction. To do that, I'll rank each of their feats on a scale of 1 to 3 points. The greater the feat, the higher the number. But for the times these boys have a brain fart and their plans backfire, we'll also be taking some points off of them. Don't worry, my brainometer here will keep track of these nerds' scores. And what better way to get the ball rolling than with some of the greatest plans the pair have ever pulled off. Like the time Stewie was having some diabolical nightmares.
Oh, thank you so much.
They're not just one-offs either. They literally plague the poor guy, and in the middle of every nightmare is the same monster.
Damn it! Why can't I move? Stewie, you okay? I was just sitting here on the couch and I had another nightmare about that horrible monster! That's it. I'm gonna help you get these nightmares under control.
So to end his torture, Stewie builds his own dream machine, which will allow Brian to jump into his mind and kill that monster.
You will be able to enter my sleeping mind. I'm gonna do what?
Brian agrees and suits up, diving into Stewie's dreamscape. Things seem pretty chill for a little while, but soon Stewie's demons start showing themselves. They get chased through the hellscape, and finally Stewie's nightmarish monster shows itself.
Stewie, look! Quick, Brian, kill it! Oh, there you guys are.
Thinking fast, Brian grabs a syringe off of a nightmare version of Dr. Hartman and hurls it right at the beast. You take that, you nightmare freak. Now that the monster's dead, it shrivels up and reveals its true form.
What the hell? It's me! I don't understand.
Turns out Stewie is secretly afraid of disappointing Brian, and that's where all this has stemmed from. And with that confession, Stewie is cured, meaning his plan to get Brian to fix his sleep demon kinda worked. I guess you can see why this baby's got a big brain. Rick, on the other hand, has had his fair share of big brain plans, like from the time he found out he was trapped in a simulation.
That wasn't your teacher. This isn't your school. We're inside a huge simulation chamber on an alien spaceship.
What are you talking about?
It's all fake, Morty. All of it.
A bunch of scamming aliens known as the Zygerians have trapped Rick in their ship, hoping he'll spill the secrets of concentrated dark matter, a super powerful fuel. Rick knows that their simulation has only so much processing power, so comes up with a plan to overwhelm it.
I don't think we can perform our new song for a crowd this tiny.
You got that right, Rick!
Now that's more like it.
Yep, he's gonna rap for them. Well, more specifically, rap in a way that totally bugs out their system.
Everybody over 30 do this with your hands. Jump up and down.
While the system bugs, Rick and Morty make a break for it.
Yes, they are. Just planned.
Well, those guys look way too happy. Well, it turns out they are, because they were playing Rick. He's still trapped inside of a simulation. He's about to accidentally tell them the formula for concentrated dark matter. Oh, and Jerry's here too for some reason.
We just need cesium, plutonic quarks, and bottled water. Oh! Wow, Morty, lucky break. Okay, 2 parts plutonic quarks, 1 part cesium.
Okay, great.
Now empty the water bottle into the bucket so we can get the hell out of here. What are you doing, Morty? There's no time.
The Zygerians think they've cracked the case and pull Rick and Jerry out of the simulation.
Okay, show this gullible turd to a shuttle. Oh, wait. Let me get a picture. Are you Rick? Are you? You're not. Or are you?
As Rick and Jerry leave the alien ship, Rick reveals that his concentrated dark matter recipe was just a hoax. As he knew he was in a simulation, his recipe actually makes...
And the final ingredient?
What the hell? What happened back there?
Why don't you ask the smartest people in the universe, Jerry? You can't. They blew up.
a gigantic bomb. So not only has Rick saved himself, Jerry, and got away home, he's also wiped out the people who tried messing with him from existence. Now that's a successful plan. If there's one thing Stewie wants to wipe from existence, not counting Lois, then it's broccoli. The kid hates the stuff.
Now open up for the airplane.
Damn you and damn the Wright brothers!
My.
Things get personal between him and the green stuff, so he tries to figure out a way to destroy broccoli once and for all, and that's where he finds a big weakness.
Cold kills broccoli. A few sprinkles of genius with a chance of doom.
Stewie starts working on his weather controlling device, but despite being a literal genius, he's not a miracle worker. He needs something to help amplify his machine across the globe, and when Peter comes home, he's got just the thing.
It appears the witless provider is victory shall yet be mine.
And I miss Stewie when he spoke like this. Anyway, this is where Stewie comes into his own. His plan starts to come to life. He uses Peter's dish to construct his device on top of the roof, and it works. Freezing rain and plummeting temperatures hit the globe.
Fare thee well, broccoli.
There's just one problem that Stewie didn't factor in. With that much rain, there also comes lightning.
Damn it! Oh!
Again, like with Chris earlier, Stewie's plans do work. They're just ruined at the last second by freak accidents. I don't think it's fair for us to not count them, because for a toddler, saying it's super impressive is, like, an understatement. But is it as impressive as the time Rick saved Jerry from, hold on, let me check my notes. Having with his mom?
You will have with your mother.
As you guys saw, Jerry gets a fortune cookie which promises that he and his mom are gonna get it on. Now, you might think it's just a bad cookie or Rick's playing a stupid joke on him, but it's far worse than that.
Okay, you guys should probably go on without Jerry. This fortune has some strange powers I'm gonna need to investigate.
Oh, God. I knew it.
Okay.
So Rick makes it his mission to figure out why the hell Jerry's destined to sleep with his mother after having one cookie. Together they go to where the cookies are being held or made to try and find out more about why they're so powerful.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
Stars, please! Your will be mangled by a frozen yogurt machine at the UN! This would sound impossible to a layman, but to me it rings inevitable.
This is real. They're controlling fate for profit.
So now Rick knows that the people behind the fortunes are manipulating probability for profit. He's got to figure out how they're doing it to stop them. He takes Jerry into the bowels of the building and finds their cookie-making room.
That's a Lockurian. It's a species that eats chaos. Its stomach is stripping randomness from space-time and leaving behind pulls unknown toward known.
Ah, so we do know what's going on.
Oh, of course. Why didn't I think of that? They're using a gigantic alien monster to make the cookies. There's a rule with these cookies, though, that every predicted outcome must happen. So the company responsible for making them brings in Jerry's mom.
Hello, Jerry Smith. Bring your mother to work day. Your friends picked me up in a limousine.
I can't lie, that's pretty sick. In the bad way, guys, in the bad way. The CEO of the company uses the cookies to morph into a horrific monster that has powers even beyond Rick's, but he knows there's an even more powerful monster in the room. It uses the soldiers as an appetizer because the CEO is the main course.
My queen! That's all the bad guys down. We almost got this, Jer.
As she dies, she releases a bomb that rips open a hole in reality, changing gravity in a way which forces Jerry and his mom together. So Rick has no other choice but to quickly create a cookie that says the opposite of the first fortune before sealing the hole with the monster.
God damn it.
That was close.
Close to what?
Of all of Rick's plans, I think everyone on the planet is glad that this one worked out. I mean, it got too close for comfort, but you know, it could have been worse. Back over with Stewie, though, the next plan I wanted to talk about of his is the time that he tries to stop Peter and Lois from having another baby, because he's not a happy bunny that they'd even think of having another.
You're gonna have a baby brother, buddy.
Call me when Kojak starts.
What?
So Stewie's plan is to stop his mom and dad from doing the deed, and at first he does the usual stuff, you know, like a normal toddler.
Mommy, Daddy, I had a bad dream. Boogeyman. Yes, that's it. I saw the boogeyman.
The whole boogeyman thing doesn't buy him much time, though, as Peter and Lois are constantly trying. So Stewie does his most ambitious thing yet and makes a robot clone of Peter to put Lois off.
Who's got beer?
Where'd you go, my little pumpkin eater?
'Cause kissing you made me burp.
But then Meg and Chris come storming in and put an end to the imitation Peter, giving the real one just enough time to worm his way back into the bedroom.
Peter!
What? I see nothing.
So Stewie decides to pull out the big guns, or small guns.
I can't stop them from the outside.
You here to supersize me? This is super shrink me, because Stewie's plan is to make himself tiny, enter Peter's body, destroy his count, so he can't make another kid.
As was your fate, Mr. Fly.
Once he makes it down to where the activity is, Stewie starts taking out swimmer after swimmer.
Do you know what today is?
Like a hot knife through butter, Stewie carves his way through all those troublesome tadpoles, and as it looks like an easy victory, he runs into Bertram. You guys might know him already, but this is where Stewie first meets him.
Well, it seems you're out of ammunition. You know my name.
I know many things.
The two meet and Stewie gives Bertram a beatdown, but stops short when he realizes the pair have a little more in common than he first thought.
My one regret is that I will do away with that red-headed woman.
How the devil do you know about Lois?
That twinkle? That's me, plotting my escape.
With Bertram looking like an ideal candidate for a brother, Stewie decides he wouldn't mind a fresh face around the house, so tries to set things up with his mom and dad to make sure it does in fact happen. But when he goes to check up on them to make sure that they're at it, he ends up killing the mood.
Oh, look who's here.
Okay, back in a minute. No!
Peter goes and relieves himself, and Stewie thinks his potential brother is lost forever. But when Peter comes back, there's a glint in his eye.
Oh my God, the twinkle. He's alive. He's more clever than I thought. Perhaps too clever.
While he doesn't get the brother he wanted in the end, Stewie does succeed in stopping Peter from spreading his seed, so can't give him anything but full marks here. Now, we've already seen Rick come to the rescue for Jerry once, but actually this plan is about saving someone else from Jerry, or their legacy anyway. After a guy by the name of Pissmaster shows up to the Smith home and is really creepy towards Summer, Jerry for once takes things into his own hands.
Whole family is here. Who's that redhead?
Oh my God, what?
This is where Jerry would embarrass himself or, get beaten to a pulp, but he actually gets the better of the pea guy.
Uncle, mercy!
Apologize to my daughter.
For what? Sorry, I you.
Getting beat up in public by Jerry Smith is one of the most embarrassing things that can ever happen, and the worst part is, Summer was videoing the whole time and she put it on the internet across the entire galaxy.
Oh my God, this piss guy is getting wailed on. What a loser.
Hey, you watching the Pissmaster video?
He has to be the biggest piece of in the galaxy, right?
Who could relate, being that much of a piece of
Whatever heart Rick has goes out to the guy. I mean, everyone in the universe is laughing at him. I think Rick realizes that if he wasn't at the house, Pissmaster wouldn't have even shown up, so he figures it's only fair that he goes up to check on him. I'm sure he's doing fine.
God damn it.
Guess the weight of the world watching and laughing at him got too much, and the poor guy thought he had no other option. To make things worse, there's a knock at the door from his daughter.
Please just open up. Dad? I know I said terrible things about you on my podcast. It's just, look, if you were to ever do something, I'd never stop blaming myself.
You'd think Rick, of all people, would just let her know the truth because life isn't fair and all that jazz, but no. Like I said, this guy has struck a chord with him.
I'm okay, honey. We're good.
I thought something happened to you.
If anything happens to me, it's 100% not on you. It's my own choice.
You still sound like you're gonna do something bad. Promise you won't, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Rick realizes that he can't let Pissmaster's memory die out like this, so he gets himself suited up and booted up and figures he's gonna impersonate the guy and give him a real ending.
Pissmaster. Make sure you tell everybody Pissmaster saved you.
In one final act, he saves a whole town from a potential disaster when a bomb is due to explode.
That's my dad.
So that explains how Pissmaster dies while completely rewriting who he was as a person. Now that is a plan well pulled off, but the boys haven't always had plans to go so smoothly. In the story on page 1, Stewie decides he's going to recruit Chris to do his bidding for him to, kill Lois with a mind control device.
Well, let's take the old boy out for a spin. I'm Chris.
I'm Chris.
To see if his mind control plan fully works, though, Stewie needs to give it a test, so he commands Chris to a hardware store.
All right, now walk up to the counter. Ring the bell. Good day, shopkeep.
Good day, shopkeep.
Looks to me like everything's in working order, even if Chris does sound a little funny.
I'm some sort of student sent here for what the devil do they study?
Latin class.
Sorry.
The shopkeep refuses to sell Chris a buzzsaw, and it's fair to say Stewie isn't too happy with him.
Allow me to purchase the provisions I demand, or I shall transform your blue collar into a red one. And no, I don't have any spare change. Where the hell would I keep it? In my diaper? Oh, bloody hell. Is this thing still on?
Okay, so there's a few teething problems that Stewie needs to sort out with a plan, so he goes back to the drawing board and fixes things, and Chris is now ready to attack Lois. Just checking, Stewie, did you protect your device from, say, microwaves?
I can't even say my name without people asking me if I made it up. How could Dad do this to me?
He knows how much you want to go to Brown.
That's the way to do it, Stewie. Create a killing machine that wants to kill you. Gotta chalk this one up as a colossal failure. Rick isn't perfect either, though, like the time he thought he could hide in a vat of acid to escape some mobsters.
Oh, man.
Instead of just seeing the bones and getting out of there, the mobsters sit around for hours and leave Rick and Morty in the acid, twiddling their thumbs, so they got no choice but to break cover.
I'm canceling the rest of my night and calling a bone scientist.
Just for embarrassment alone, that deserves a point being taken off of Rick's tally. If you guys want bad, then how about the time Stewie made an invention that backfired and turned him into a real baby?
Did it work?
Doggy, big doggy.
Now that's a machine that works. Stewie wanted to keep himself young because he's worried that if he grows up, he'll lose all of his brain and personality, but he didn't realize it could erase his brain and make him a babbling baby anyway.
And I mean keep. And once you do that, big difference.
If you'll pardon the pun, Brian's sick of this new Stewie and throws him back into the machine to try and undo the damage, but he makes it 1,000 times worse. There's nothing quite like a gremlin machine. You know, the time Rick turned himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy.
You're not gonna regret it. The payoff is huge. I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! I turned myself into a pickle!
Not entirely impressive. What's even more impressive is that he didn't even give himself telekinetic powers or something, because all he could do was watch helplessly as Beth stole his pickle antidote.
What are you doing there, Beth? What are you doing there, sweetie?
Unrelated to your situation. How's that gonna help?
Can't argue with that. It's really important, so don't break it.
That backfired pretty quickly, and the rest of his day went downhill from there. And who could forget the time Stewie got super greedy with his honey business and experimented on some bees?
All right, since we sold out so fast, we've got to make these bees more productive.
How are we gonna do that?
Steroids, Brian. This here is the same stuff that turned Barry Bonds' head into a prize-winning squash.
He got more honey, all right. He also got a bunch of steroid-infused bees looking for a fight.
My God, Brian, run! Turn on the wipers!
Yeah, I'd say that backfired pretty hard too. Well, if you thought that was bad, how about when Rick made a younger version of himself and he nearly died in the process? I mean, he even made a subliminal song about it.
Is anybody listening? Looking at me like that and actually help me. Help me, I'm gonna die. Thanks, everybody.
He made himself young so he could scope out Morty's school as there was a vampire on the grounds. But being young again is way more addictive than he thought it would be, and the longer he stays in his younger body, his old one dies.
Hunting a vampire with my grandkids!
The next step is to watch your mythologues, and big surprise, it's never pretty.
Summer and Morty manage to convince Tiny Rick to go back into his older body, and they just get there in time. If it wasn't for them, Rick would be dead.
Oh, thanks, kids. You figured it out. Summer did.
Just goes to show, even geniuses can make mistakes. Here's Stewie pulling off a plan to go back in time to save Brian's life after he got hit by a car.
Brian, look out! You're alive, my friend!
What the hell's going on here?
And as for Rick, well, I could hardly leave out the episode where he dupes the Gromflamites using a fake memory and escapes prison.
Hey, pull me out. Can you hear me? No. Why not?
Because the code you just uploaded wasn't actually my portal gun formula.
What are you talking about? This is a memory.
But you can alter anything you want about a totally fabricated origin story.
I'm sure things are going to start quickly ramping up here as we move on over to looking at their best inventions. In Road to the Multiverse, we see him hop from one universe to the next, like when he took Brian to see the universe where their family was Flintstone-ified, if that's even a word.
Yes, Rock Lois?
That was wonderful, Rock. we had last rock night.
And who can forget the universe where everyone has two heads, one for happiness and one for sadness?
What the hell is this? This isn't our universe. One happy, one sad.
Have you seen Stewie? I can't find him anywhere.
Yeah, you get the idea. Obviously, though, Rick's no stranger to multiverse travel either. In fact, his method of transport is a little more streamlined.
Yeah, I'd like to order one large person with extra people, please.
Yeah, that was him traveling through the Big Butt universe into the universe where people are pizzas and pizzas are people. Those portals can be used for all sorts of things, too, like grabbing alternate versions of his enemies.
Stay there. Tell him what you told me.
What is this? What's happening?
Tell him what you told me.
Oh, I pooped on a really awesome toilet I found.
Don't use your dead wife as an excuse.
And it can even be used as a weapon.
Drop the gun.
You don't understand! This guy was gonna kill someone!
What are you doing, Morty? Look, I don't have time to tell you my entire backstory, but Grandpa and government don't get along.
Rick's portal gun is one of the most OP inventions in all of fiction. Like, I can make a whole video on it. But for now, let's take a look at another invention of Stewie's.
All right. Blast, you vile woman!
Blast, you vile woman!
Which is pretty impressive, but you gotta admit, the shrink ray from that episode is the real showstopper. Now, Rick's got a few interesting comparisons to Stewie, like he's also made some robots of his family.
Think you got the wrong house, bro. Analysis mode.
Kind of expected a funnier password.
Damn, like Westworld. Yes, Morty, like Westworld. Summer.
Whatever, creep. I'm gonna see how accurate you got my room.
Did you mean like, you know, an exact replica? You know you can use tissues, right? I can't finish without it.
So you do know what a happy family looks like.
Rick? What? Did you use this house to make decoys too? You think I'd go somewhere else to... Okay, well, I am now less worried about the squids. Isolate head at normal processing. Wait, how do you... Oh God, Summer was right.
Dang it, Morty, I was gonna use that Westworld line. Rick's robots are duplicates because he's a wanted man, so he's gotta create decoys to throw his enemies off the scent. But his decoys make their own decoys, and it gets so confusing that they just wind up trying to kill each other.
They've gone rogue! Killer decoy! Decoy! Somebody put a gun in my teeth!
The line of decoys is endless, and it's a pretty poor idea and execution from Rick, especially as he has Operation Phoenix, which we'll get onto a little later. Going into Rick's next invention now, though, did you know he's also made a shrink ray? You know, from the time he shrinks Morty to go inside that homeless guy called Ruben.
What
Hey, Dad, where's Morty?
He's busy.
Rick's also got his own ship. Granted, it's not as cool looking as Stewie's.
What do you think of this flying vehicle, Morty? I built it out of stuff I found in the garage.
Well, that explains it. It's made out of junk, so it's gonna look like junk. It's a bit more powerful than Stewie's ship, though.
Summer saved.
Yeah, you didn't see Stewie's ship dismembering people, but you do see Stewie running around freezing people solid.
Frozen carbonite!
Don't worry, that dude was fine. Probably. Which is a lot more than can be said for Frank, the school bully, when Rick unleashes his freeze ray.
You kind of had things handled without it.
Telling me how to bully now? Now I'm gonna cut you, because my family's rich.
There you are, Morty. I got an errand to run in a whole different dimension. Oh, jeez, Rick.
Hey, he threatened Morty pretty bad there, so he's getting what's coming to him in my eyes.
Hi, Frank.
Another thing that both boys have in common is that they're pretty big fans of simulations. Although we don't know until the end of the episode, Stewie creates a simulation chamber to practice what it'd be like if he ever really tried to kill Lois.
Hey, Stewie, we got a postcard from Peter and Lois on the cruise.
Oh, hello, Brian. Well, you recall my complaining about Lois and the fat man not taking me with them?
Yep, he'd end up dead. But how cool is his invention? Anyway, Rick's version of creating a simulation is a little different. His is actually a place where he can go and simulate memories, allowing himself to replay them. The main memory he keeps there is one of his late wife, Diane. She might be dead in the real world, but here, Rick can keep her forever. And here's the machine that allows him to keep that memory. I promised you guys earlier that I'd be taking a look at clones, and now's the time. The first of Stewie's clones comes from the episode Quagmire's Baby, where the little guy is so busy he has to create someone to help him with the schedule.
Oh, for God's sake, cancel my Tuesday appointments. You want me to move it to another day? No, just cancel it.
There was another Stewie right there.
That, Brian, is Stewie. Stewie's new right-hand man, who's not very bright, we'll put it that way. He's a pretty reliable worker as well, it's just, well, Stewie didn't 100% test his clones, and they're not exactly well made.
Oh, yeah, turns out the clones aren't too stable, Brian. Hey, Stewie, everything sounds like rushing water. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Will Stewie's next clone be any better? Considering he didn't plan on making it, I'm gonna say probably no. That machine you just saw him in isn't for cloning. It was to restore Stewie's mean streak. But instead of doing that, it just made another Stewie that's made out of pure evil. See what I mean? The clone also keeps all of Stewie's brain power, and he makes it almost impossible for anyone to tell him apart from the real one, to the point that Brian has to choose who to kill.
Just glad this nightmare is over.
Yeah, me too.
Let's hope he made the right choice. He did make the right choice, right? Yep, automatic point off. As for Rick's clones, as I mentioned earlier, his batches are called Operation Phoenix, and they work a little differently. His clones are clones, but they have no real consciousness to them, so when he dies in one body, he just transfers his consciousness to the clone, and wham, good as new.
Backup. Data. Operation Phoenix.
I axed this protocol.
Rick even has a set of clones for everyone in the family.
Feet. So small.
Statistically speaking, she's the third most likely to die.
I need to give Stewie a shot at redemption here, so how about we bring back that dream machine of his that we saw earlier, because we know that bad boy worked.
What the hell is that?
It's a digital dream interface.
It also gives me a chance to bring up one of Rick's not-so-great inventions, the Night family. Basically, we know Rick likes to be efficient, so he's developed a way to let his night self take over while he's asleep, like here he is doing some crunches.
What are you doing? Dad? Dad? Hello?
The rest of the fam like the idea of being able to do stuff at night, but after a while, the night versions of themselves start resenting them.
Night Jerry, Summer would appreciate it if everybody could rinse off their plates after eating. You know, rinse the schmutz off after eating. Makes it easier to clean up later. What?
Rick doesn't take kindly to the request and makes the night version's jobs 10 times harder, but they fight back and give Rick one hell of a fright.
Rinse your dishes.
Let me go!
I told you to after you fell asleep.
Those are some of the more famous inventions out of the way, but the main devices these two create are weapons. Both of them have a serious arsenal. We see Stewie making a mind control gun in the first episode of the show, for crying out loud.
Stewie, I said no toys at the table.
You've impeded my work since the day I escaped from your wretched womb.
And then we see him firing a laser gun in the second one.
Can you count to 3?
1, 2, 3!
If you didn't know by now, this kid is not to be messed with. Just ask Lois. Like, there's a time that he put together a hovering drill machine to kill her, but while he's a brilliant inventor, he sucks at aiming. Well, where Lois is concerned anyway, because poor old Brian gets the brunt of Stewie's latest invention, an all-action flamethrower. That's a snapshot into Stewie's arsenal. How about Rick's? Well, let's just get it out of the way. However many weapons you think Stewie's got, Rick has like 10 times more. Like these neon laser pistols. Or this regular laser pistol.
I came to kill you, bro.
Oh my god, he's not bluffing. He's not bluffing.
Rick! Why not shoot through her?
And here he is putting the finishing touches on his classic gun.
Thanks, dum-dum. Go get more. Summer, put your burqa on.
I spent a lot on this top.
Most of his weapons are kept on his person, though, and what I mean by that is that the guy has a whole exoskeleton built to house these bad boys.
How unfortunate.
Forgetting his exoskeleton for a sec, you guys can't really deny that Rick loves making mech suits, like the one he and Morty used and Look Who's Purging now. And then there's the suits he uses in Pro Mortius. for time, I've had to condense it, because really, we could make a whole weapon video out of these two. I know Stewie's a prolific inventor, but really, Rick's just on another level, man. Like, look at how much he made for Beth when she was a kid.
A whip that forces people to like you. A parent trap. A teddy bear with anatomically correct innards. False fingerprints. An indestructible baseball bat. A taser shaped like a ladybug.
Also, there are some inventions I've left out for the same reason, but if you guys are interested, here they are. For Stewie, we got his stealth bombers, rocket skis, Frankenstein machine, a Terminator, a robot Brian and Lyle, a particle interchange machine, a big wheel superboat, and a pregnancy machine that gets him pregnant.
Brian, we're pregnant, and in 18 years he's going to move away.
Just gonna leave you guys with that one. Oh, and then there's Stewie's time machine too, but as Rick's on record not liking time travel, I think it'd be unfair to include against him. Because, I mean, we saw that he knows how to play with time in his time device with the monster. But anyway, now it's time for Rick's list. He got his butter robot, groin protecting device, ski shoes, Fruity Land, underground lair, Doolittle device, cognition amplifier, dream inceptor, time stopper, as I mentioned earlier, and his mind swapper.
Wait, no!
And both have much, much more. So after that marathon of inventions, let's take a look at the scoreboard. As things stand, Rick leads the way with 45 points to Stewie's 40. It still could all change, though, for them as we come to the time. Stewie and Rick have saved the world with their schemes. And the first scheme that Stewie puts together is all thanks to Brian. Not that he gives Stewie the idea, more like he causes the problem. You see, for ages now, Brian's been using Stewie's time machine to, show off with women.
April 14th, 1865.
How romantic.
It might be morally wrong, sure, but it works.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, there's a dog with a woman. But seriously, oh, the humanity even more right now. I mean, come on.
Okay, no, that's just morally wrong. Brian keeps at it, though, taking woman after woman to the past and using it as a way to get them into bed. He's using the machine that much, that well, it can't take it.
Brian, what the hell are you doing in here?
I don't know, man. I saw Meg leaving a minute ago going, mwahahaha.
So yeah, that beam is really not good. It completely reverses time. Oh, great, now time's moving backwards. It's not just like things are on one speed either. Things just get faster and faster, and now they're affecting Stewie and Brian too.
God, I'm unteething!
As Brian and Stewie were at the heart of the blast, the time difference doesn't affect them in the same way, apparently, but you can't cheat time, apparently, which means that if things continue on their course, Stewie's going to be unborn.
You've got to restore the flow of time! My life depends on it!
Thanks to Stewie's reminder, Brian's only hope is doing the exact opposite of what he did to break the machine. So he turns the dial the opposite way, and by sheer dumb luck, it works.
Maybe if I turn it in the other direction.
But the real question is, Brian might have followed Stewie's orders and saved the world, but has he done enough to save Stewie?
It's a boy! Yeah!
And you better believe it. Thanks to Stewie and Brian, the world is safe from rewinding out of existence. Try following that, Rick. Okay, well, maybe he can. Because Earth needs him more than ever when a giant head enters orbit, demanding the planet shows what it's got.
Do we know what this giant head wants?
Show me what you got! Show me what you got!
So what does the head want to see? Well, it turns out that the head wants to see talent. It's a cromulon, a giant alien head that feeds off the talent of other life forms, and this head wants to see songs. So this is where Rick steps up to the plate with a song of his own.
On the floor, time to get swifty, I'm Mr. Bulldog.
Don't analyze it, Nathan, it's working.
Time to get swifty in here.
And it looks like the head likes what Rick and Morty's got, or at least enough for it to stop causing natural disasters around the globe. Either way, it's a win.
I like what you got.
Don't celebrate too soon, though, guys, because you're in for a little shocker. You see, that head didn't want to just be entertained, it was on a talent scout, and now Earth is part of a galactic song contest.
Any astronauts you guys had in orbit are definitely dead.
So if Rick and Morty don't win, the Earth gets destroyed. Oh good, no pressure then. To be fair, they do get help from Ice-T, who is an Ice-T.
I ain't worried about no Earth blowing up, man.
Why not?
Yo, this is why.
What the You can turn into ice?
Well, that's more like an ice eye, but I'm not going to be too harsh. Anyway, when it's time for Rick to perform, the US government goes behind his back and shoots a nuclear missile at the heads. which is basically suicide. The heads disqualify Earth and set them up to be destroyed, but that's where a certain Ice-T comes in.
Ice-T? That's right, it's me. I care now.
He buys Rick and Morty enough time for them to play one last song, and of course the heads love it.
After 988 seasons of Planet Music, and bring our musical reality show to a conclusion.
Let's get a music album now.
Thanks to 2 catchy songs and 1 Ice-T, Rick manages to save Earth twice. Stewie, on the other hand, he saved the world more than once. Like in the episode Back to the Pilot. When he and Brian go back to the past to look for a long-lost tennis ball, they manage to have a sneak peek at their old selves from 1999.
Oh my god, what's with Meg's voice?
That's nothing. Look at you.
The mind control device is nearing completion.
If you guys know a thing or two about time travel, you know that when you're in the past, you're not allowed to change anything because it could affect the future. Clearly, Brian didn't get that memo because he tells his past self about something pretty big.
For stopping the 9/11 terrorist attacks and saving our country.
I can't even express how mad I am at you right now.
Now, you guys might think that that's a good thing, but remember, any small change can affect the future, and without the fear of 9/11, Bush didn't win a second term and instead started a civil war.
Nice work, Bri.
Whoops.
The only thing Stewie can think of to stop the future from happening is to go back to the moment they arrived in 1999 and warn their other past selves not to change anything.
That, Brian, about 9/11. America as you know it will cease to exist.
We've been here 2 minutes, and already you've destroyed America.
I promise I won't say anything.
That does work. 9/11 is back as a canon event, but Brian can't help himself, and he keeps changing small bits of the future, each time causing mayhem in the present, so Stewie takes drastic action.
Get the back in your time machine! Get back to the present and stay there! Ah!
God!
And with that, the timeline is restored, which also means the Stewie that saved the world is rubbed from existence.
The chronological tangent that created us will have been erased.
It might have cost him everything, but Stewie officially has saved the world more than Rick. Speaking of him, I do think it's only fair to mention that time that Rick destroyed the world before. You guys remember back in season 1 when he made that love potion for Morty and it made everyone feral for him?
I love Morty. I'd like to wrap my arms around him.
Well, obviously, Rick can't let that continue, so he comes up with an antidote to fix things, but obviously he makes them worse.
By the way, Morty, I know you didn't ask or anything, but these serums, they don't work on anybody related to you genetically.
Those half-human, half-mantis mutants wreck the town, and Rick goes back to his garage to try and synthesize a new antidote. He does make one. You know what happens. The whole world is turned into Cronenberg monsters, and Rick has no choice but to eat humble pie and move universes.
It's fine. Everything is fine. And in a few dozen of those, I got lucky and turned everything back to normal.
Well, Rick, just because you got the brain power to move universes doesn't mean you didn't literally destroy your original one, so we gotta wipe off a point of a score. Ooh, the drama. Will this have cost Rick the mental matchup? Well, I can tell you that Stewie Griffin's final score is 46, and Rick's final score is 47, meaning that by 1 point, Rick Sanchez is officially the smarter guy. That's all the brain power I got for y'all today, guys, but if you want to check out some more animated action, then head on over to my channel, or you can click this top-class video that's just popped up on your screen right about now. Either way, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on over there.